Oh, good! We might actually get some good music in here for once.
Hey, what's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Transformers Titans Return Leader Class Blaster! So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. So right up front here, we have Blaster looking like he's been decapitated. That's a little disturbing when you really think about it. But anyway, on this side of the box, you have an Autobot symbol, on the other side of the box here, you just have Blaster again. On the top of the box, Autobot symbol. On the bottom of the box, you have words and things. You have cross cells. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product shots. It does this, that, the other. And you have a brief bio if you want to read it in multiple languages. Hooray for languages. And that's basically it for the packaging. And included in the packaging is the collector's card with that same piece of artwork of Blaster, and on the other side you have the tech specs for both Blaster and Twincast, his headmaster. Hooray for cards. So there you have that. So moving right along, here we have the first figure of this new line of Transformers Titans Returns, where everything has to be a triple changer and a headmaster for some reason. Sure, okay. Let's see how this goes. But here is Blaster, and he is in his traditional boombox mode, which is pretty cool. Not perfect. You can see there's some gaps in there. Not everything is filled in, but yeah, not the end of the world. You can see right there, nice Autobot symbol. Some transparent plastic right there for the tape deck with some molded detail, which does serve a bit of a purpose. But we'll get to that later. We have some tampograph details right down here. Nice big speakers. He does have speakers under his speakers. Maybe that helps for sound quality. I don't know. I don't know. Got some nice blue paint right there and some red. And some nice tampograph detail right there. Very G1-y. And on the back here, you can just see some more molded detail. You got some guns that flip out for base mode and whatnot. You got some yellow there. Underside, I already showed you. Top side. Not much going on except for the convenient carrying handle. Yay! And yeah, there you go. He's he transforms into a box as Blaster does. A boom box. That's right, a box full of boom. So there you have that. And for comparison, here he is with KFC's Transistor. They're not Masterpiece, not Blaster. You can see how he scales there with Transistor. And here he is with the G1 Blaster, because that's pressure. Boomboxing pressure. Yeah. There you have that. Now, accessory-wise, he does include this thing right here. There is a play and pause button here, so I'm assuming this is supposed to be the remote. Blaster's remote, I guess. I don't know. And it does have some detail picked out in silver, and this can store in the tape deck. You just push the button right here and boop, that just falls open. This is not, the door isn't spring loaded, it's just gravity that brings it down. Right there, they couldn't afford 2 springs. No, I'm just kidding. I know somebody's probably going to complain about that too. You couldn't afford 2 springs, Hasbro. Anyway, but you can store this in the tape deck. Just slides right in. You can close that up, and if you already have Buzzsaw, who was released in Combiner Wars, they are the same shape here. So all of Blaster's minions and all of Soundwave's minions are going to fit into the tape deck perfectly, because they're meant to. So there you have that. So you can store that right there in the tape deck. He does include his gun right here, which is just cast in a. It's actually more of a brown plastic. Still nicely detailed. Looks cute. And you can store that right back here in this port. So you can just plug that in sideways like that. And you have that for storage. Maybe you can raise it up and, use it as an antenna. I don't know. Okay. You can store that there. And of course he does include the head. Well, he's not a headmaster now. He's a Titan Master. That's right, Titan Master. So there is Blaster's Titan Master. This is Twincast. And you can see he looks like a little Blaster, because Twincast was just a repaint of a Blaster back in the day. And we'll get in close here. You can see they actually tried, it looks like they tried to paint his eyes. They ended up just painting his whole face blue, or maybe his whole face is just blue. I don't know, it looks weird, because there is still silver kind of peeking through. So I don't know what they were going for there, but it doesn't really look all that great. It looks kind of sloppy. A little bit of silver paint up top. And that's pretty much it. It's a nice molding. He has the speakers and the shins there. And he does have an upside-down face on his back. There's no hiding that, it's just there. But there you go. Articulation-wise, the head is actually on a ball joint, so you can get some wiggly, waggly, wiggly, waggly out of it a little bit. The shoulders are on ball joints also, but they don't allow that much movement. You can see that's pretty much as far out as they're going to go. And you can rotate them only but so far. That's pretty much it. It just kind of bangs into the head back there. And you can move his hips forward and back. And he has knees. The lower legs are just molded in one piece, so they don't move individually. So there you have that. Here he is with one of Fans Project's headmasters. You can see he's a bit shorter, like a head shorter than Fans Project's headmasters. And here he is with Lord Zadok, a G1 headmaster. You can see he's way smaller than a G1 headmaster. So yeah, these guys are little. They're very, very little. Now you can store this guy in Blaster as well. If we take out this piece, you can see there's a little groove right here that's cut out just for him, and you can just stick his head in there and his legs just tab in right there, and there you go. You can store him right there, plop him into the tape deck, close it up, and yay, everything stores in boombox mode, which is pretty cool. There you have that. So, let's just get down to transformation, shall we? So, as I said before, this guy is a triple changer, and he has a base mode. That's right, a base mode. So let's take out this, put that off to the side, and let's go on to his base mode. So to do that, you just want to take these front panels here, and untab it, and just bring that down. And you want to take this ramp right here. You want to make sure it clears this bit. You have to kind of swing it around there. So bring that ramp down, like that. Lower this here. There we go. And then you just want to untub the arm from this section right here. And you just want to rotate it, like that. Bring the arm up. Flip out these guns, and then you just want to angle the arms back a couple clicks, like that. And then you take this bit right here, flip this out, and you take this section right here, and it's on a double hinge. You just take it and bring it out to the side like that. And there you got one side all done. Second verse, same as the first. Bring that down, swing that around, untab, rotate, bring up, flip down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring it back about 4 clicks. Bring those guns down. Flip this up, take this foot, swing it back, and you just open up the tape deck, and then you take this piece right here, you bring that up, and then you take this piece, and you just pop that forward, bring that back down, like that, and there you go. There you have Blaster in his base mode. Sure! Sure, why not? Dare I say, why not? And actually, it's passable. Actually, there's one thing we're forgetting about the base mode here. We need to remove this piece, and these 2 tabs right here will go into these 2 slots right here on the handle. There we go, and that completes the base mode. So there you go. But yeah, it's not a half bad base mode. I mean, it's sure, okay. I can work with that. I can work with it. You got a little bit of paint on the inside right there. It says danger. Right there. And, yeah, sure. So you can take his gun. There is a port right in there. You can plug that gun right in there. You also have 2 ports right here, so you can plug guns there as well, if you wish. And all around this guy, there are these little posts right here. And these posts are for the Titan Masters because they do have ports on the bottoms of their feet. So you can take them and just plug them in and have them standing wherever you want. You can plug them in there, you can plug them in right there, you can plug them in right there. There are also 3 posts right here. There are 2 posts right up top here, so you can have them standing on these towers if you want. There's also a little seat for him right in here, so you can just sit him down like that. And there are also ports on either side, so you can plug guns in there if you want. But the one thing that I really like that they worked into this is he does have basically a little command center here and a seat and everything. You can just get him into a sitting position, and you can just take him and just sit him down right there, and you can just man that cannon. As you can see, he has the little crosshairs right there, which is pretty cool. That I like. He has like his own little dedicated area, which is quite cool in my opinion. And yeah, there you go. There he is in his base mode. So there you have that. So for comparison, here it is with G1 Blaster in his base mode. Guys, precious. That's something precious. Base mode. So moving on to robot mode. Let's just unplug the gun here. Come on, come on. Release! Release! There we go. Unplug that. Get him off to the side for now. And we want to remove that. Put that off to the side. And let's just start out by just flipping this back up, flipping that back down, flipping that back down, closing that back up. And what are we going to do? We can just flip up these guns, extend the arms, bring out his hands, and we'll just leave that there. Actually, we can bring this down too. Just take this handle, just bring it down to the back. And we're pretty much done with the upper body for now. We can just concentrate on the legs. So the legs, you just want to take this assembly right here and just bring it down on this double hinge. You can see there's a tab that tabbed in there. And now this tab will tab in right up there. So just tab that in. Flip up this ramp. You want to flip out his toe, flip this back in, and you want to bring this foot section up on this lower hinge here. Just bring that up like that, and then you take this panel, close that in, and that will just hook in right there. Lock all that in place. And then you just rotate out the hip, bring the leg down, and there you go. Second verse is the same as the first. We just untab that, extend it down, tab it back in, flip that up, toe, boom, bring that foot up on that hinge, throw that up, lock that in, rotate, bring down, right there. Like that, and then we have to raise the camera because he gets a bit taller. There we go. And we can bring his arms down. Right there, and then you come back here, open up this panel, bring out the helmet, close that back up. And now we bring out the Titan Master, and to transform him, you just fold him in half. Like that. You can see the head sculpt there. The light's not really getting in there, but his eyes are painted yellow. Can we get some light in there? Maybe a little bit. Kinda. There you go. There is the head sculpt. Nice silver paint though. Looks nice. And that just plugs in right there, as I'm sure you could have guessed already. And you just line that up. Plop the head on. Sometimes it's easier than others. There we go. Just plug the head on, and then you just take this whole helmet piece there, and that just comes up and over the head. Boom! And there you have Blaster in his robot mode, and he looks really cool. This is very nicely done, in my opinion. I really like the way this guy turned out. Looks really, really nice. Very cool. I do quite like it. He does have a bit of a some back meat going on here, but that's just due to the cassette gimmick, because it sits in at an angle, so you can kind of see where that space needed to be for that to work. So that's why you kind of have some back fat meat going on back there. But hey, it's on the back. What does it matter? I don't display my figures facing the wall. But other than that, though, I mean, it looks really, really nice. And we'll get in close here on the head sculpt. Very nice head sculpt. Obviously, it's a more G1 toy head sculpt than a cartoon head sculpt, but still looks quite nice. Nice silver paint right there. It looks very cool. You got some nice detail that's molded in and painted. Some silver, blue, yellow. Very nice. Very cool. Like I said before, I have some of the G1 details there on the shins. Got some of the blue and the red. And yeah, I mean, nice clean transformation. He doesn't have, he's not really gappy in robot mode. I mean, obviously, if you look from the top, you can kind of see his big gaps here. But, I mean, there's nothing, like, blatantly gappy about him, He doesn't have just some blatant hollowness going on that is just, undeniably visible. It looks really nice. It's a really well-done figure, in my opinion. Very, very cool. Now, articulation-wise, his head can do a full 360, even with that helmet gimmick. Head can still do a full 360. You can't look up or down without accidentally decapitating him, but you do get a full 360 range of motion there on the head. The shoulders can do a full 360. And here's a soft ratchet right there. Outward movement on the shoulders. Nice and ratcheted. Bicep swivel. And a soft ratcheted elbow bend with 90 degrees of bend. Nothing at the wrist. You just had that inward movement there. And nothing at the waist, unfortunately. You do have these flaps which can move out of the way to accommodate the leg movement. Legs can go forward that much. Backward that much. Outward movements. You can do the full splits, obviously, because he has to for transformation. Thigh swivel. 90 degrees of bend out to the knee. And the feet are also on a ratchet. You can pretty much get like one click up and one click down. So not a wide range of movement, but a little bit. And you can get pretty much like full ankle tilt there. It is nice that, they actually molded this piece into a point. So you can kind of at least get the ankle tilt going that far, and, things are still filled in, and that's pretty nice. And his toes can move down, if that serves any purpose whatsoever to you. So there you have that. And, of course, you can't hold his weapon. If you want to store his weapon, you can just store it the way it was stored in boombox mode right back there, but I can have him holding his gun, and the remote, if you want. Just store it right back there in his chest. Boom. There you go. It's all put away. All nice and neat like. So there you go. Now for comparison. Here he is with Leader Jetfire. And we'll bring in Combiner Wars Megs. While we're at it. Right there. You can see how he scales. And yeah, he's leader class size. So there you have that. There you have that. And here he is with KFC's Transistor. They're not Masterpiece, not Blaster. You can see how those look together. You can see actually pretty much the same height. Maybe this blaster is like a hair shorter. But yeah. There you have that. And here he is with G1 Blaster because he's precious. Actually the same size, but they're precious. Ooh. And here he is with Combiner Wars Voyager Prime. In case you want to recreate the scale of the G1 toys. There you go! You can do it again. Yay! There you have that. So there you go. Oh, there's also a post right there for a Titan Master that I totally forgot to point out. So if you want to have one, sitting right there on his shoulder, you can totally do that too. But anyway, as far as Blaster goes, very nice figure. And another thing I forgot to point out is that in base mode, he will be able to connect to Fortress Maximus, and Optimus Prime will be able to also. I'll show that off when I actually have Fortress Maximus in hand. I have him on the way. But yeah, very, very cool. I really like the way this guy came out. Very nicely done. If this is the first figure you're messing with from this line, I think this makes a good first impression. So yeah. Very, very cool. I do quite like him. Very nicely done. So if you would like a blaster or any other Titans Return figures, you can always check out BigBadToyStore.com for availability. There will be a link in the description down below, so check that out. And you can also check out the new Titans Return playlist for all future reviews, also linked in the description down below, so check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Lori Plan, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Transformers Titans Return Leader Class Blaster, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Big Geek, be proud, boom in your face! Wheeljack! This new couch you made sucks! Beanbag chairs are more comfortable. Although I do kinda like the cup holder.